right, welcome everyone. My name is Marjorie Batley. I'm from the University of Chicago, and I am very excited to share a little bit more about the University of Chicago today in the College Spotlight for the NACAC Rural and Small Town SIG. I'm going to talk a little bit about what life is like on our campus, as well as the resources that we have specifically for rural and small town students. So as I said, my name is Marjorie Batley. I'm a Senior Associate Director of Admissions, and I will include my contact information at the end as well. Here is a nice brief overview of the University of Chicago. One thing that I want to point out is that we really do think about diversity in a very broad sense of the word and in every way. Now, in addition to the stats that you'll see on this slide, we do have students from all 50 states and more than 100 different countries represented on campus. You'll see students from urban, rural, and suburban backgrounds, and we do want a wide variety of backgrounds, opinions, perspectives represented on campus. That makes for a really vibrant and robust classroom experience when you have everyone with their own sort of lived experiences and then their own opinions in the classroom. So that is something that is really important. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go on. The other thing at the very end that I'm going to talk about in depth is what it means to be a liberal arts college with a core curriculum, and I'll explain what the core looks like within a much larger research institution. This is a sneak peek at the University of Chicago, and when you think about us, I do want you to think about UChicago within kind of 3 different layers. The first is that we are a medium-sized liberal arts college. You saw on the last page about 6,800 undergraduate students. But we are placed within a much larger research institution within the 3rd largest city in the United States. So I'll talk about each of those different layers as we go on. But what we think this does is gives us a really rich academic environment. And it's one reason that we are the home to a lot of great firsts here at UChicago. So the very first self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction, the very first Department of Sociology in the United States, the very first Heisman Trophy. That's a fun fact not everyone knows. But that environment really helps grow these sort of academic connections, and we want students to be able to learn in a wide variety of areas, and that is part of the foundation of our core curriculum. The core is designed for students to spend their first year and a half or so learning in a wide variety of areas, and there are really 8 disciplinary areas that students learn in through the core: the biological sciences, physical sciences, social sciences, math, foreign languages, fine arts, humanities, and civilization. Now, students take 1 to 2 classes in each of those different areas, again, usually within that first year and a half of their time on campus. All of those classes are small. They are capped at 19 students. They're discussion-based classes. They're opportunities for students to not only learn about those different disciplines, but also to learn really important academic skills that are going to help them no matter what academic area they end up going into. So things like how to read, how to write, how to debate and argue, how to think critically. Now, the idea behind learning in all those different areas as well is to make connections. These different discipline areas are not divorced from each other. They are all connected. We want students to be able to approach a complex problem and walk all the way around it. Look at it from a variety of different perspectives, not just one. So building a foundational knowledge in each of those areas is a really good way to start doing that. And this is really the foundation of the liberal arts to us, learning in a broad different areas and in small classrooms where you can really get to know each other and your professors right off the bat. Now, from the core curriculum, it can also help students decide what path they're going to end up on. It can really help you narrow things down, and it can help you decide your major or your minor. Most students at UChicago aren't declaring their majors or minors until right around the end of their 2nd or the beginning of their 3rd year. You have time to figure it out. It is okay if that major changes in your mind many times over your first couple of years there. That is good. That is a sign of academic growth, and that's one of the points of the core is to help you really kind of hone in on what is your academic area of interest. So the core is a great place to start. It is your foundation. It is not the only place that you spend, not the only place that you spend time in at the University of Chicago academically. From the core, you then move into your major, whatever that ends up being. More than 1/3 of our students end up double majoring at the University of Chicago, and not a small handful do triple major. One of the reasons this is possible is because we are on the quarter system, so things do go by quite quickly. You rack up more classes in a quarter system than you do in a semester system, and it's built into our system that you can easily double major in 2 different areas. They can be 2 totally disparate subjects. They don't have to overlap. So if you look at 4 years at the University of Chicago, about a third of your classes are in this core curriculum that we've talked about. A third of your classes are in your major, whatever that ends up being, and a third of your classes are set aside as elective classes or a very convenient built-in double major if you choose to use it. We have about 90 different academic programs between majors and minors, and you can combine them however you want. There are no limits, major, double major, triple major, add a minor, whatever you can do in 4 years, you can go for it. One thing that I mentioned at the very beginning is that we are this liberal arts college, right? You're going to get that great foundation in Marx and Freud and Foucault and that small classroom feel. We are within a much larger research institution, and we want students to take advantage of those resources as well. 80% of our students will end up doing research at some point during their time at UChicago. And we have some great resources because we have a large number of graduate schools on campus too. So the Booth School of Business, the Law School, the Medical School, the Public Policy School, Social Service Administration. There are about 100 different graduate programs on campus. You have this massive built-in network to take advantage of, especially when it comes to research. And research does come in every area. I know the most common thought that students have is the white lab coats and beakers, and we've got some really cool opportunities when it comes to that. We're the only university that manages 2 U.S. Department of Energy laboratories. That's Argonne National Laboratory and Fermilab. But we also have research in literally every area, in sociological experiments, in linguistic analysis, in archaeological digs. We've got research in every area possible. So that is available to any student. The other thing that we want students to take advantage of are our pre-professional UChicago careers in programs. These are not academic areas. These are not majors. These are outside of your major, and they are opportunities to get some real life experience. So build that resume, do an internship, have some specialized advising in each of these areas, and they're designed to prepare students for whatever the next step is going to be for you. So you'll see they're in all of these broad areas. You get your own special set of advisors who are professionals. They've worked in these industries before. You get tailored internship opportunities, networking opportunities, skill building seminars. We are a liberal arts college. We want you to get a great liberal arts education. We also want you to be able to do something with it. And these programs are designed to set you up for whatever post-graduation plans you might have in mind. These are really wonderful resources for our students, and they are really one of the things I think sets the University of Chicago apart is that focus on whatever comes next, whether it's graduate school or it is a full-time job. And on graduation day, 94% of our students have something set in stone as to what they are going to be doing next. This may seem very overwhelming. I've been using numbers like hundreds and thousands, and there are lots of big numbers here, but I want to break it down into a much smaller community now. So the idea is that out of this large university, we want you to get to know each other really well, and the small classrooms are a really good way to do that, but also your residential living experience is a really good way to do that. The way that I like to think about this is the core is really the heart and soul of your academic experience as an undergraduate student at the University of Chicago. It is where you start, it's where you spend a lot of your formative years, those first year and a half, 2 years in those core classes. The housing system for us is really that heart and soul of your social life, at least when you get started at the University of Chicago. We have a residential housing system, 39 different houses and 7 different dormitories or residence halls. So each house is usually about 80 to 100 students, and every house is designed to be a microcosm of the university as a whole. So you're talking all years, all majors, all regions represented in those houses. The houses are designed to kind of be that first social network that you have on campus. They're designed to introduce you to the University of Chicago. There's a lot of studying that you do together. There's a lot of crowdsourcing for classes. They're really your social network, but they're also there to introduce you to the city of Chicago. So I mentioned we are a liberal arts college within a much larger research institution. within the 3rd largest city in the United States. And these house systems are here to help you feel comfortable with living on campus and living in the city. Speaking of the city, it is one of our greatest assets. You are surrounded by amazing opportunities. It can be a little overwhelming at first. I had never taken public transportation before I arrived on campus. First time I got on a train, I actually ended up in the wrong state. So it is really, it can be, the housing system is designed to break everything down for you and introduce you to things like taking public transportation, the 77 different neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. You go on different field trips to different areas of the city. You go out to eat together. You go to the shows. First time I ever went to like an off-Broadway show was going to go see Wicked with my house, which does date me a bit, but it was very exciting. It's really a great resource for students. We want you to take advantage of it. So there are 2 major ways that we want students to be able to take advantage of these things. And one is the Arts Pass. The Arts Pass gives students free access to most of the museums in downtown Chicago. So the Art Institute, it gives you discounted tickets to Shedd Aquarium, the Field Museum, Adler Planetarium, some really amazing resources. Discounted tickets to Broadway in Chicago, discounted tickets to the Blackhawks, the White Sox, the Cubs, the Bears, the Bulls, everything that the city has to offer. We want students to take advantage of it. So we subsidize a lot of those activities through things like the Arts Pass. The U-Pass is also a really great opportunity for students to take advantage of public transportation in the city of Chicago. If you've ever been to Chicago or any large city, you know having a car can actually be more of a pain than it's worth sometimes. And I went more than a decade without a car in Chicago, which to my parents and family back home was very surprising, because if anyone's from Georgia or the Atlanta area, you gotta have a car to get pretty much anywhere. So you can get around everywhere in public transportation in the city of Chicago. It really opens the entire city up to you. Now, I want to talk about the last and really most important piece of this whole college application process, and I'll talk a little bit about the details of how you fill out the application later on. But this is the support that we want to give students financially. It's going to be very important. It's always been important, but in the coming years, I think it'll be even more important. The top 3 things that you need to know about financial aid at the University of Chicago is that we guarantee to cover 100% of demonstrated need. We are need blind. This means that we do not look at your family's financial situation when we are reading your application. It's a totally separate process to apply for financial aid and to apply to the college as an undergraduate student. And we are loan free. I think it's something like 96% of our students graduate without any sort of student loan debt. So we really want to keep it that way. We cover everything with grants and scholarships, not loans. And here are some of the fun details for our rural and small town students. We really focused on this over the last couple of years. We really want to support our rural and small town students on campus, and we want to see more representation of those students in when we think about our incoming class. So a couple of different fly-in opportunities. 2 of them are summer opportunities. So they are held this summer between a student's freshman and sophomore year, and the other one is the summer between a student's junior and senior year. These are fully funded. We cover the cost to campus, the cost of taking a class on campus, and you get to meet other amazing high-achieving rural students from across the United States. So we have students this year from Alaska to Vermont and everywhere in between participating in this program. It's fantastic. We also have 2 fly-in opportunities. They're much shorter. They're not a full summer program, but they are like long weekends. And one is in the fall of a student's senior year. This is our Discover U Chicago program, and it is designed for any underrepresented student. So that does include rural, first generation, low income, and students of color. Then the Discover, so that's Discover U Chicago, and then there's Destination U Chicago, which is for admitted students, admitted underrepresented students. So again, within all of those different categories. Again, these are fully funded, both those shorter fly-ins and the summer programs. We cover the cost of you coming to campus. We really don't want money to be the #1 reason that a student doesn't get to participate in these sorts of activities. And I will say, you will see tons of links here because so much of what we have done has gone online. So if there is any silver lining to the current situation, it is that we have more resources available to students online than we have ever had before. We have daily faculty classes that you can sit in on, model classes, we have student panels, we have student support service sessions, we have information sessions, everything you can imagine, it is now available online. And it's not just for those students who could get to campus, right? It's available for everyone. So I highly encourage you to check out these links. Here's the nitty gritty for how to apply. We are on both the Common and the Coalition application. So either one is fine. There is absolutely no preference. And our deadlines are going to be November 1st and January 2nd. So on November 1st, you could apply early action, which for us is non-binding and non-restrictive. You can apply to any other school you want to, or early decision, which is binding. Same thing for January 2nd, you have two options. One is a second round of early decision, so it's called early decision 2. Same idea, it is binding, just like early decision 1. And the other option would be regular decision, non-binding, totally normal, no hoops to jump through. We are test optional. We do not require your SAT or ACT. We've been test optional for a few years now. We don't require any standardized testing. So we don't require primary or secondary standardized testing. If you want to submit any of that testing, go for it. This includes SAT, ACT, SAT2 subject test, AP, IB, whatever you want to submit, go for it. If you submit it, we will look at it. If you don't worry about it. We will not. Our application fee is automatically waived for any student who's applying for need-based financial aid. So here's a hint. Apply for need-based financial aid and we automatically waive the application fee, right? That's all you got to do. And then we do offer need-based financial aid and merit scholarships. So in addition to covering 100% of guaranteed need, we also cover the merit scholarships. And we do offer deposit fee waivers. Here's my contact information. That is a lot that I tried to fit into a little nutshell. Feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions. Thank you.